So, I'm gonna be talking about my therapy session again. I was debating on whether I wanted to do this or not because it's not really... The therapy session went well, but there wasn't really anything important really that was talked about. It's kind of just the same regurgitated stuff. Talked about labels. We kind of backtracked because in my last appointment I talked about the lady that misdiagnosed me with schizoaffective that gave me Invega. Obviously the medicine didn't work because I don't have that condition, but yeah, I saw a lady, that gave me that medicine, and I stopped seeing her, and then I saw another lady that wanted me to go back on that medicine because I have weird beliefs, and I said no, and I stopped seeing her. I told my therapist about this. I like to tell my therapist, my new therapist, I like to tell him my failed therapy sessions. Just to know why. Like, why did it fail, And because with the second lady, she saw I made videos about certain mental disorders, and she asked me if I had those conditions, and I said no, I just made videos on them. But I suspect I might have them. She never confirmed it though. But yeah. All of these bad doctors came from one facility. And I tell my new therapist about all these bad doctors. That's what I do now. He said the reason why a doctor would bump up your dosage of medicine even if things are going well, because that's what it was. Like, there was a point to where I was doing well on low dose medication until a doctor bumped it up, and I got all messed up, and I asked my new doctor, why did my old doctor do that? I'm happy on a low dose. Why did they have to bump it up? And he's just like, oh, just to see how you can tolerate the medicine. Because I told him I think it was more of a money grab kind of a situation. But for him it's like, no, just trying to test the levels, which I think that's stupid. I mean, if you're on the low dose and you're fine, then just leave the person alone on the low dose, you know what I mean? But anyways, there was some other topics, not really that important. At least I don't think that they're important. I did talk about labels though. We talked about this before, but he's reassuring me again in this session by saying labels don't matter. He says everyone is so caught up in labels, especially the youth nowadays. Like, what do I call myself? And he's like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, That doesn't really answer my question about mental labels though, because he's like, oh yeah, labels don't matter. But how far will you go with that though? What about medical labels? I think he does think that those are important, because we did talk about, like, gender and religion, and he said, it's okay if you don't fit in a box, like, am I he, him? Am I she, her? Am I they, them? He's just like, if you don't fit into a box, that's fine. You don't have to fit in any of that. You could just be like, I'm me. I'm me, myself, and I. Those are my pronouns. Well, he didn't say that, but that's basically in a nutshell what he's saying is, like, you don't have to go by she, him. You don't have to. You could be in the middle, You know what I mean? The same thing with religion. You don't have to be in a common religion. You could be in a rare religion. I'm like, I brung up paganism as a good example for, like, rare religion. But he's like, you don't even have to be that. You could just be like your own thing. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm in the middle, So we definitely agree with that, because everything that I've been saying all this time is what he's saying, I've been saying all my life, you can have unconventional beliefs. And that's basically what he's saying. He's like, yeah, he's basically, everything that he's saying is everything that I already know. And I know all of this because of the research online. So, the psychological research that I do online is not bullshit. Mayo Clinic is pretty accurate. Cleveland, I think that's what it is, Cleveland Clinic or something, I don't know. Basically those psychological websites, they're valid. I'm not getting bullshit psychological, because I've studied this up. I've studied this shit for years. So, and I've interviewed the people. That's why I know all this, And so far, a lot of the psychological knowledge that I've been telling him, he's confirming it. He's like, yes, this is all accurate. He's probably thinking that I'm smart, Nothing that I have said so far is off fact. You know what I mean? Like, nothing that I have said so far is misinformation necessarily. I mean, there might have been a couple disagreements on certain things, but I'm getting my psychological shit pretty correct, I'm surprised though, because in the beginning of the interview, I did say, I made videos in the past of having schizotypal and borderline. Like, I've told them that. Like, I told them, I've made videos about schizotypal and borderline. Not on the Gnostic channel. Not on my Gnostic Mind Train channel. I'm talking about School of Down 22, which is deleted. On School of Down 22, I talked about schizotypal and borderline. And I said to him that I showed a therapist those videos and she asked if I had those conditions. And I said no. I'm surprised he didn't elaborate on those conditions. I was expecting him to go, well, schizotypal is basically this condition where you are a loner with weird beliefs, and borderline is reactive rage and abandonment issues. Surprised he never elaborated on that. Because I still think I might have something similar to those conditions, I will admit. Maybe not schizotypal, but something like he himself actually suggested that I might have undifferentiated schizophrenia, because I told him I used to see shadow people, and I had a little bit of paranoia. I used to believe I was in the Truman Show, my own simulation matrix TV show, if you will. So he's like, well, yeah, that's a little bit out there. I still believe I'm in the spectrum of that. As far as borderline, I don't think so anymore. I was born with anger. People with borderline are not born with anger. I have identity issues not because of my upbringing or trauma. I have identity issues because I just don't fit in a label, But yeah, I wish he elaborated more on that. I don't know if he's ever going to give me a diagnosis of anything. I don't know. I feel like he may have been, maybe this is just my paranoia, or maybe I'm looking too deep into shit, but I feel like he's indirectly suggesting that I might have OCD and ADHD instead, because he was bringing up his clients vaguely by saying, oh, I had a client, oh, not a client, I had a patient with ADHD, oh, I had another patient with ADHD, I had a patient with OCD, oh, my wife has OCD tendencies. Like, he was using those examples a lot in this therapy session, so I don't know if he's trying to suggest I might have those. To be honest, I have OCD traits, but I don't believe I'm a hypochondriac. I don't believe I hypofixate on mental issues too much. I don't believe that. There's something wrong with me. I don't have OCD, I don't have intrusive thoughts, I watch weird, messed up, explicit content. I am, sorry, I am very what am I trying to say? I am very clean. I use paper towels a lot, I use toilet paper a lot. I use a regular towel to dry my hands. Sometimes I use paper towels. And on very rare occasions I'll use toilet paper for my hands, as odd as that seems. So I guess I have cleaning issues. But then I have messy issues. Like, I would be a weird case of OCD because my room is a mess. I watch gross, explicit content, so I kind of have this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think it's called, personality, where I'm clean, but I'm also dirty, kind of. I don't know. I don't think they're connected. Like, I don't think my weird, disgusting sexuality is tied. I don't think it's a coping mechanism for my OCD. I don't think it is. I just think I like gross. I think I have a gross sexuality because just to get into deep stuff. You know what I mean? I like taboo stuff. You know, I like bending normality. You know what I mean? The harder, the better. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to get off talking about that, but yeah. I think we talked about some other stuff. I don't know. I might be missing out. I might be missing a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna mention it in the next song, probably. That was basically it. Just labels. You don't really need them. I guess mentally you do. Mentally you do, I guess. Not me, though. Like, I feel like not me, because I just don't fit in. I told them that. I told them I join rare communities, and not even the rare communities relate to me. So I'm the rare of the rare, you know? I joined a demon worship community, which that's a rare religion. And I had an issue with the people in the community. They don't see demons as good or bad. They kind of see them kind of neutrally. Demon worshippers are not what you think they are. A lot of the ones that I've met were kind of pagan-ish. But I wasn't coming from a pagan mindset. I was coming from kind of a dual good and evil Christian mindset when it came to demons. So even I was the weirdest group ever, aka demon worshippers, thought I was weird. It's kind of like going to the loser table and you're too much of a loser for the loser table. That's kind of what it is for me with these rare communities. I'm too weird. Same thing with misotheism. Whenever I Google Gnostic Mind Train for some reason on Google Images, I see a video, I don't know what the title is, but it has something to do with, can you be a Christian and a misotheist at the same time? And I watched that video and there were a lot of comments of people saying, yeah, I'm a Christian and I'm a misotheist. Well, I'm just a misotheist. I'm not Christian based. I don't base my ideas on God on the Christianity religion. So because of that, I would be considered the weird of the weird. I'm weird because I believe in misotheism, but I'm weirder because I don't base it on Christianity or any known religion. So I'm the weird of the rare of the rare of the community of communities. That's why I do believe that I might have schizotypal, or some kind of schizophrenia, undefined something, or some maybe I have atypical autism. Maybe it is atypical autism. I don't know, something. Because obviously I'm too weird, and obviously there's something wrong with me. Maybe not, I don't know. But basically, I have no label for anything. Politically, religiously, psychologically, and he's just like, he said to me, basically, that's okay. You know? And I may never get a diagnosis, and that's okay. You want to know why? Because I have no labels for other stuff anyways. So that's basically it. I guess I could just add this, I guess, maybe, I don't know. I did ask him, do you think doctors, like psych doctors, do you think they overdiagnose people? Because, like, I might get some controversy for this, but sometimes I feel like these psych doctors be like pathologizing mentalness. I don't even know if that's the right. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically, like sometimes I feel like these psych doctors, they label certain personality quirks as mental illnesses, like being like attention-seeking, histrionic personality disorder, like that's a thing. Attention seeking, like that's a thing. Narcissism is a disorder. and yet everyone throws that word around. So it's like, where's your limit? And he's like, well, something is only a disorder if it's disruptive. I said, yeah, it has to be disruptive. It has to be disruptive in all of the areas of your life. He's like, yeah, kind of. I said, well, no, I mean, it could be just disruptive at work only, but I don't know. Yeah, it's the same thing with schizotypal and stuff. It's like, am I really schizotypal? Like, or undifferentiated schizophrenia. Like, what even is that? Like, is that me? How do you even define something that's undefined? You know? Does that fit me or not? I see things. I don't know if I made a video about it, but I still see stuff to this day. I see colors. And I see stars. My eye doctor says I'm okay. But I sometimes see shit in the corner of my eye or in front of my eyes, like the color patterns. Kind of like when you're having a seizure, kind of. You know, those focal seizures? Not the convulsive seizures, I'm talking about there's two kinds of seizures. There's convulsive, and then there's mental seizures where you have deja vu and you start seeing like colors and patterns and stuff. That's what I see. I don't have epilepsy though, but I see like after images of things that I've already seen. You know. Sorry, I think my dad's in the living room. I heard him in the living room. Yeah, and even like politically, like one week I could be like retweeting some leftist points of view, and then the next week I could be retweeting right leaning points of view. So like I'm kind of like don't fit in a label basically. And again, he says that's fine, but he may eventually diagnose me with a couple of things, possibly. He probably thinks I'm smart. I'm very self-aware, and I've done my research. He probably picks that up on me. But yeah, hopefully I'll get an answer from him on, I don't know,